All right, this is Mr. Wyrick. I had some technical difficulties with the phone here, so this video is going to be a little different, but just going through this, what's another name for angle 1? This is angle 1 right here, so FVG or GVF. The vertex of angle 3, here's angle 3 right in here. So this is the vertex where those two rays meet. That is point V. Another name for the combination of angles 2 and 3. I drew my arc here. So it could either be IVG or GVI. Either one would work for the combination angle formed by angle 2 and 3. When we're looking at this next one, what is another name for the plane M? So this is M. This point here, this point over here, this point over here, this point down here, if it exists. They don't have names. So what you're looking for is 3 different points that are on the plane and that are not all on the same line. So we can't use SPT altogether. I used VPT, that would work. RTP would also work. RSP or RSV or anything like that, as long as it's 3 points that are not all on the same line. Another name for line N. Line N comes down and it's supposed to kind of in 3D land come down and touch the plane in one spot. That would be Q and P are on that line. So you could call this line PQ or line QP, and I indicated that that was a line. Where does line N intersect with plane M? That is that intersection point right there, which is point P. On the next page, the vertical angle pairs. Vertical angles are across from each other. They're even indicated on this drawing that they are congruent. So angle A and angle B would be a good set of vertical angles, and then angle C and angle D would be another good pair of vertical angles. Any set of adjacent angles would be ones that are directly next to each other. They share a side. So B and C would be adjacent, A and C would be adjacent, A and D would be adjacent, D and B would be adjacent. As long as you pick 2 that are next to each other and share a side, you should be good. A linear pair for angle 1. A linear pair is a special kind of adjacent angles where they form a straight line. So if it's going to do that with A, it's either along this line and it's angle C, or it's along this line and it's angle D. So either one would be fine. These are also supplementary angles. We know they're adjacent to be a linear pair, so we don't want to reclassify them as something we already said. So supplementary, any kind of linear pair is always going to add up to 180. Angle G and angle H are complementary. That means they're going to add up to 90. So I have 3x plus 12 plus 6x minus 9 is equal to 90. I combine my like terms because they're on the same side of the equal sign. 6x and 3x makes 9x. 12 minus 9 makes 3. So I have 9x plus 3 equals 90. I subtract 3 from both sides. I get 9x equals 87. So 87 over 9 is going to reduce down to I have 29 thirds, or if you got 9.6 repeating, that's 9 and 2/3. I like to leave it 29 thirds because I'm going to need to substitute it in. I believe your ones on the test will come up to whole number answers, but it's still important to know how to get there. For angle G, I'm going to put that 29 thirds into 3x plus 12. 29 thirds times 3 is 29. 29 plus 12 is going to give me 41 for angle G. And then for angle H, I'm taking 29 thirds and multiplying it by 6. That's going to be 58. And then 58 minus 9 is going to give me 49. The two of these add together to make 90, so I know they are complementary angles. R and S are vertical angles. That means they are going to be congruent. So 6x minus 12 and 2x plus 20, I'm going to set them equal. I always eliminate the smaller x, so I subtract 2x from both sides. That gives me 4x minus 12 is equal to 20. I add 12 to both sides to get 4x is equal to 32. My last step, I'm going to divide by 4 and get x is equal to 8. Since I know x is equal to 8, 6 times 8 is 48. 48 minus 12 gives me 36. And 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 20 is also 36 for angle S. An if-then statement that is false. If it is raining, then it is Friday. I know that one's false. Rain does not make it a certain day, and that's written as kind of a cause-effect thing there. My counter example, it can rain any day. So if it's raining, that doesn't make it Friday. It could happen on a Monday, anything like that. Okay, this is where I got to before I had my technical difficulties. So draw and label a chord. It just needs to connect 2 points on the circle. A radius should go from the center to the outside in any direction. A diameter, I would probably need to make sure this is a straight line. It's going to be a chord, and it's going to go through the center. That's a diameter. A secant is going to be like a chord, but it's going to keep going. So this is a secant. And then a tangent, and I'll just draw that over here. And I really should have done a better job to make sure it only touches the circle in the one place. If it works at a 90-degree angle, that is a tangent, mostly outside the circle. My conditional statement, if it rains hard, then they cancel school. The converse, I'm going to do a swap. That's what the converse is all about. If they cancel school, then it rained hard. The inverse is where we add the word not. So if, I'm abbreviating here, if it does not rain hard, they will not cancel. And then the contrapositive, we are going to both swap and add the not. So if they don't cancel school, then it did not rain hard. Solve the following equation using a 2-column proof. I think I updated this to where it does say what you are trying to prove, but I have my 2 columns. 6 times x minus 3 plus 8 equals 2x plus 14. That is number 1, and that is my given. Okay, I'm going to distribute that 6. 6x minus 18 plus 8 equals 2x plus 14. The reason I do that is the distributive property. All I'm doing is distributing the 6. The next step, I'm going to call this simplify. It's all about how I get here. So that's going to be 6x minus 10 equals 2x plus 14. I would subtract 2x from both sides. Since I'm going to subtract, that's the subtraction property. So that's going to be 4x minus 10 is equal to 14. The next step, I would add 10 to both sides. So this is going to be the addition property. So that's 4x is equal to 24. The last thing I would need to do is divide. So I'm going to put this as the division property. And I'm kind of abbreviating here. So that number 6 is going to be where I end up with x is equal to 6, which should be the correct answer. If you have any other questions, make sure to stop by, flex time, tutorial time, whatever, and try to get this explained in a way that helps you out. And good luck on your test.